So this week on The Modified World, we interviewed Courtney Maxwell. So stick around. So this week, it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. So I decided to fly down to St. Louis and hang out with Courtney Maxwell, talk shop.
I'm Courtney Maxwell, and I'm a piercer at Tricks Tattoos currently in St. Louis, Missouri.
So how did you get into business?
I got into piercing by being very determined and pretty lucky also. I went out of my way to pursue it, obviously. It was definitely a goal. I know some people kind of fall into it, but I was really interested in becoming a piercer after having a really amazing experience with my first piercing when I was 14, actually. I had an amazing piercer that I was really scared and really nervous, and he took really good care of me, and I left thinking more about the experience than the piercing and really was inspired by that. So I spent most of my high school career focusing on working towards that, and I was hired into a studio, I guess, right after my 20th birthday, but I'm actually completely self-taught, which is not common anymore. I definitely pursued apprenticeships, but there really wasn't anybody in the area that was doing anything that would have, been worth the effort, I think, at the time. So I, did what I think most people would not have the self-restraint and ethics to do, and went the self-taught route, and it actually ended up working out for me because a year into it, I was working here. So, but I definitely had to work really hard to get access to better information because I didn't have anyone handing it to me. So my first year piercing, I spent almost my entire annual take-home income getting into the APP conference and making a lot of connections and learning a lot, and getting a lot of confirmation about the fact that my instincts were actually on point with what most people were actually doing. So and continuing to educate myself in that manner had a lot to do with it too. But yeah, I guess determination, right place, right time.
So what have you done to make yourself like the best piercer that you can be?
I think that trying to make myself a good piercer has been entirely based around the fact that I am not afraid to address mistakes. I don't think that you can have a ton of ego about your work and get too far. I mean, obviously we all have some ego, but I think that you have to be willing to analyze the way you do things and constantly reevaluate. Because if you ever stop learning, you might as well just quit. So I think that being open to new ideas is extremely important, and knowing that no matter how long you do it. Like I said, I feel really confident as myself as a professional. I feel good about what I do, but I'm still blown out of the water over and over again on a regular basis about new things that I'm learning that, I don't think that you can ever turn your brain off to that side of things. You can never say, I know how to do this and now I'm done. So once you've done that, you might as well, like I said, you might as well just quit.
So you're going to be switching shops here very soon. Where are you going exactly?
I am actually getting ready to leave in about 4 weeks. I'm going to be moving to Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm going to be working at St. Sabrina's, which is a really amazing studio. I'm honored that they've asked me to work for them. They're amazing. I'm going to be working for Derek Lowe, who, is an amazing industry figure that's been around for a really long time. He's done an
screeching badass.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I can't think of anybody who won't like that guy. He's awesome, and he's managed to work that studio into a really amazing place. He really has, and the staff there is wonderful, and I'm really excited. I never really thought that I would leave St. Louis. It really wasn't anything that was ever planned. It just kind of happened, and honestly, I wouldn't be willing to leave if it weren't for the fact that I'm planning on coming back very regularly so I can guest spot and visit all my regulars and everything. There's no way. This is my home, and I'm really attached to my clientele here, so there's no way I could just run away and leave. So it just worked out that I'm going to be able to have the freedom to do that. So I'm pretty excited. It's the first time I've really moved away from the area since I was a kid. So it'll be quite an adventure.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
This, but just exponentially worse. I've just joined the membership committee for the APP, and that's definitely the route that I want to go. I feel like I have a lot of things to contribute as far as reaching out to other people in the industry. So I want to try to get more involved in, in committees and eventually, work towards running for the board if possible. I think that's going to be something that's going to take up a lot of my time because, I really do, I'm really committed to the industry in all facets. I want to be more involved in it, especially in the education and the outreach department. So, I work on bodymodpros.com, which is a professional educational website, basically getting everybody exchanging ideas and networking a little bit more efficiently, which is something that I've been dreaming of doing for quite a while. And doing that, getting the information flowing between the professionals, but also getting the information flowing to the clients too. I kind of want to try to bridge all of those gaps because I think knowledge is power, obviously. So we need to put the good information out there so that piercers are learning and doing their jobs better and being safer, and then put the information out there for the clients so that they are armed to find a qualified piercer and someone that's going to give them the experience that they want and the end result that they want too.
So as an industry in general, what do you think we're actually doing right? What are we winning on?
I think that there is a huge number of people right now that are kind of at the top of their game in the industry that are really catching on to a lot of things at the same time, that they're really starting to really get a lot about business that we didn't understand before, because obviously being a piercer does not qualify you to run a business or understand business necessarily. You have to go out of your way to grasp that concept as as an individual issue. And I really do think that side of things is suddenly kind of reaching a peak where a lot of people are really catching on, and they're learning a lot about how to do things to make their studios sustainable. I mean, actually keep things going so that we can continue to offer these services and the quality of the work that we do to our clients. I mean, obviously, if we can't stay open, we can't help anybody. So there's been a lot changing, and I think social networking has been a tremendous thing to do with that. We're figuring out how to use that in a way to reach out to people, educate people, to show people what's possible. I mean, I can't think of how many clients I have contact me after they've seen a photograph that I posted, and they're like, I had no idea that was an option. And as soon as they see it, they're inspired. Like, if I had known that I could do that, if it had just occurred to me, I would have wanted it years ago. People just, we're presenting people with really cool visual ideas of what can be done with the human body, and people are inspired as hell by that. So I think being able to reach our clients like that and understanding how relevant that is to the longevity of our industry and our business, I think that's really amazing how much we've caught up to that.
What are we failing on? What are we getting wrong?
I think a lot of piercers focus a little too much on how to try to make other people do things the way they want. I really do. I think that's a huge issue where people really do have an idea that it's their way or the highway, and they really do want to try to influence the rest of the industry into doing things exactly the way that they do. And I don't think that's necessarily the right answer, because there is a huge variety of clients, there's a huge variety of approaches to piercing, there's a market out there for a ton of different types of shops, different environments, things like that. And I feel like there really is room for a lot more variety in our business than some people are letting on at this point. I think some people maybe should try to keep an open mind and try to have perspective. And it's really easy to do the wrong thing with no actual ill intentions. I think a lot of people do that. They really do. They're trying really, really hard to find a way to do the best thing possible for themselves as a piercer or for the industry, and end up accidentally just, losing sight of the big picture. It's really easy to do, and I don't fault anybody for that. But I think a lot of people definitely just trying to keep, a variety of ideas flowing around them, keep people with different ways of thinking so that they don't lose sight of how diverse our industry is and our clientele.
Courtney, I appreciate you being a good sport. I know you hate being on camera, and thank you for playing nice and getting along and doing what we can to help spread the word of professional information for the YouTube audience. Appreciate it. Well, so that was our show this week. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a little thin, but I've been on the road, as I said. Got a whole lot more stuff for you, though, and I'm going to let you guys decide. Let me know in the comments down below. Which would you rather see? Would you rather see the glorious results of my guest spot and the sweet triple forward helix piercing I got? Or would you rather see an interview with Jared Silverman going over to Born This Way Body Arts? So let me know in the section down below. You know, we give out swag every week to engage subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do that. And leave me comments and thumbs up and all that good happy stuff. And share this video on your Tumblr, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Google Plus if you have one of those. And of course, we'll see you next week, Friday around 7 for another episode of The Modified World.